you really hate Sean Combs.
Why would they be thinking that?
Because of the things that you post on Instagram,
Yeah,
because of the...
Look at this. And let's stop for a second and do say that I hated him enough to hire his kids. And we've never done anything to each other. So it's just competitive energy and things that you say about other artists while you're in hip-hop culture.
Dealing with Combs Enterprise. They come in and they work and they don't get paid.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we're gonna build up to it real quick,
Yeah, so he was able to sell that footage to whomever he chose. The question is, how did anybody know about it? Like, that's the thing. Like, that's the part that, it's so funny because people they get so excited. But when you've got a lawyer like Mark Agnifilo, who is orchestrating your possible surrender, because as you heard him say in the beginning of the documentary, he was very clear. It's almost the middle of September and there's no indictment. As you heard Diddy say, I've been an exemplary client like you've asked. You said I've been an excellent client. I came here. I did everything you asked me to do. Mm-hmm. That's what they're literally having this conversation.
Yeah, in that conversation, Diddy was worried about the outlook of the public versus the victim.
The outlook of the public? Oh, he was worried a lot more than that. You don't think? He literally sat there and said, we need comms. She's sitting there talking like an evil dictator. We need comms. We need a way into this conversation. We're losing, he said. We're losing. Losing what? What are you losing? But the key words that he said that were so important were, we need to be able to be speaking to the potential jurors. He said, you might only be the guy that watches CNN, but there's 9 billion people in the world, and 7 billion of them are on Instagram or TikTok. We need to have control of that. He said, we need to know how these potential jurors are thinking. Problem with it, it was done too well. It left out too many things.
So can you speak on Curtis Jackson? 50 Cent said that this is the first one.
I'm sure.
There's hundreds of hours of more footage.
I'm sure there was hundreds of hours of shit that was confiscated from all of Diddy's homes in that HSI raid that never made it to the trial. I wonder where it made it to.
If you're anything like me, you probably noticed who was missing from 50 Cent's documentary, and trust me, we all noticed it. The film shattered records, but according to Jaguar Wright, it also broke a promise. She claims that the real list of alleged accomplices Beyoncé, Naomi Campbell, Demi Moore, J. Lo, Ellen, and Oprah was deliberately removed from the final cut to protect Netflix's investors. Even more shocking, Jaguar alleges that 50 Cent himself helped make sure it happened. What you're about to see is the list they never wanted the public to see, and the proof is coming.
Melissa Ford just did an interview talking about how Hype Williams brought her out. Now, mind you, she's a video vixen, and it seems like the girls that used to be part of the music videos have stories to tell.
They should.
And
They're all sex workers.
Yeah.
And if they weren't, they felt like it when they went home.
Said every room in Diddy's mansions were wired with cameras. And he had some of the footage, he had some of the pictures, and he displayed those in the lawsuit that came out. And this was used for blackmail material. They'd bring in these people. A lot of these people were also aspiring young artists in the music industry. And then these parties were sponsored by Motown Records CEO, Universal Records CEO. This goes all the way to the top. And so you get these people in compromising situations. The drinks were laced, the videotapes were hot. And then at the end of the day, you wake up the next morning, what did I do? And then they have compromising material on you. And then they can guide your career. They could kill your career, but they got you. And it wasn't just people in the music business. As you said, there were athletes, there were celebrities, there were politicians, people from the royal family. And we were also told by the former bodyguard that Diddy was an FBI informant.
The first name Jaguar Wright is focusing on is Beyoncé, and she has been under scrutiny for years. According to Jaguar, she has been warning people about Queen Bey long before 50 Cent's recent documentary brought several censored names into the spotlight, claiming that Beyoncé was not just a bystander at Jay-Z and Diddy's parties, but that she played a role. Sources allege she was present while controversial actions unfolded, helping to cover up what happened and even benefiting from the fallout. Since marrying Jay-Z, Beyoncé's career has skyrocketed, earning Grammys and major accolades. But the documentary casts new light on the hidden stories that were kept behind the scenes for years.
Beyonce, just as evil in your opinion? Has she done things you know of? Is it more Jay-Z in your mind? What is the...
I know a lot of things that shameless hat has done, but her greatest sin is vanity. And I'm going to say this about you now, baby. Everybody who knows you are dumb as a sack of hair. Truth is, if it wasn't for your singing and your dancing, you would have never been anything more than a shampoo girl in your mother's shop. You ain't got the common sense of a damn dog.
But that's not criminal.
Huh?
It's not criminal. Is there?
No. I'm going to get you there.
Oh, I see. She's just too dumb to know what she's in for.
No, she's just dumb enough to be down with whatever's going on.
Okay.
She's probably one of the most least empathetic people I've ever met in my life.
Jaguar went public with her claims about Beyonce and Jay-Z during a national television appearance on Piers Morgan, where she revealed what she described as hidden stories they allegedly wanted to keep quiet. While a cease and desist letter was reportedly sent to Piers, no defamation lawsuit was ever filed, likely because taking legal action could have drawn even more attention to everything Jaguar has been saying. One user on X pointed this out, writing, "Funny how nobody's gone after Jaguar, right? Even though she's been speaking out about these A-list figures for years. No lawsuits, no NDAs, no real consequences."
Exposures. You make yourself vulnerable to all kinds of attacks, seen and unseen. What happened to my friend? When he passed away, there was $250,000 on my head and $150,000 on his. But what if I had decided to go back with my head held low and said, Sean, I'm willing to play the game, and then found a way to get inside of him and move him around?
Think about platforms. The reality of the modern world is that pretty much everyone has a platform as long as they have something to say that other people want to hear. That's why we invited her on to be interviewed. The people making these claims have an audience with or without shows like mine. Well, Jaguar Wright unexpectedly made several serious allegations about Jay-Z and Beyonce during that interview. As I said in the moment, they were not present to respond or defend themselves, but now they have. Their lawyers contacted us to say that those claims were totally false and have no basis in fact, and we've therefore complied with the legal request to cut them from the original interview. Editing interviews is not something we do lightly at a show called Uncensored. But, like the proverbial cries of fire in a crowded theatre, there are legal limits on us too. And we apologise to Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Another figure connected to Diddy and ongoing controversy is Naomi Campbell, who has been linked to him for more than 2 decades. This follows earlier scrutiny she faced over associations with other high-profile figures tied to serious crimes, including Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, raising ongoing questions about the circles she has moved within.
Most people, especially this awful son, wanted me to be in jail, and I'm not saying what my behavior was correct. I think that everyone during this period of Terminal 5 madness was upset and irate, and I guess I just took it.
Naomi Campbell's history of violence only deepens the controversy surrounding her. In 1998, she was convicted of assault after attacking and choking her assistant, and in the years that followed, she faced multiple charges related to physically assaulting staff members and even clashing with police. This ongoing pattern of aggression overlapped with her growing connection to Diddy, and yet, much like him, she managed to avoid jail time. Less than a year before the raid on Diddy's home, Naomi was back in court once again after scratching a photographer's eye, receiving a 6-month suspended sentence that kept her out of prison as her legal troubles continued to stack up.
We all know Naomi has a temper.
Today, the 45-year-old supermodel was found guilty in a Sicilian court for assaulting a photographer. She was given a 6-month suspended prison term, so she escapes the dreaded orange jumpsuit.
If you thought Naomi's controversies were shocking, Demi Moore's past adds another layer to the story. A longtime associate of Diddy, Moore came under scrutiny after a resurfaced 1982 video showed her engaging in inappropriate behavior with her then 14-year-old General Hospital co-star, Philip Tanzini, at his birthday party. In the footage, she repeatedly kisses him and makes overly familiar remarks, actions that have drawn renewed attention and criticism decades later.
Loan is the greatest, and I'm putting in a box. Thank you. Okay, one more time. Somewhere over the rainbow. Why do you think everybody's come out? I don't know. Maybe just because I love them all and I hope they all love me. We do love him. And I love them.
I think it's for the publicity. You're out of your mind.
Absolutely, because he's one of my most favorite people.
How long have you been working on the show?
Almost a month and a half.
What's your role?
I'm Makes Me Laugh. Now I'm Philip Tanzini and I play Jeremy, and you're stealing my part. I'm sorry.
We're moving on to interview number 2 here.
Oh, okay. Because I love Philip, and he's the only one I love. Do your interview already. All right.
You got Ashton Kutcher in love with Mila Kunis on that 70s show. Then they break up for absolutely no reason after he starts hanging out with Diddy. Then he marries Demi Moore, who drained him of all the adrenochrome she can, and apparently he replenished himself by doing inappropriate things with their daughters. I'm glad. I'm sure you're glad, like Bruce.
The most shocking layer of Demi Moore's story is her own traumatic past. At just 15 years old, she revealed in interviews that her mother exploited her, allegedly selling her for money and exposing her to dangerous situations. Moore has spoken openly about being forced into unsafe circumstances and has said that her mother was aware of what was happening. These revelations add a complex and heartbreaking context to her early life and help frame the controversies that have followed her over the years.
Demi Moore, she revealed in her memoir that she was assaulted at the age of 15, writing that her mother let the user in their home. Well, today, Demi talked to Howard Stern more about this on his Sirius XM radio show.
You say you pushed it away. You don't need, you just
I
recently.
pushed it away because I felt like it was my fault. Like that I felt like I had behaved in a way that was
provocative
and mature, like I really knew a lot. And I never really looked at myself as being a kid. And so I never looked at it as, I mean, I saw it as an unfortunate and, you know,
Yet he forced you into it.
I was very embarrassed by it. In all honesty, I think that the shame I carried because of the made me afraid to feel I could comfortably express myself sexually.
It makes me just remember the conversation that I had with her where she talked about the purpose of her writing this book was to share her story in hopes that it would empower other young women. She did talk about a lot of the other things to Howard Stern. She said she auditioned for Top Gun, obviously didn't get the part.
Among the few who reportedly left the U.S., Ellen stands out, making headlines in 2024 shortly after Diddy's Miami mansion was raided. She announced that she was leaving the country permanently, a move whose timing was hard to ignore. Fans also noticed a visible change in her appearance, as she traded her iconic blonde hair for a new look while relocating to England to start over, seemingly putting distance between herself and the chaos surrounding Diddy.
They're losing their minds.
She sounded so sincere, didn't she?
Very sincere.
Virtually choke on her words. But the best one for me is Ellen DeGeneres, who is, by the way, a very nasty person. I've had dealings with her in Australia.
Oh!
Could I tell you some stories about that cow? But anyway, good riddance to her. But she was quite friendly with that P. Diddy bloke, wasn't she?
Well, this is why I say release the Diddy files.
Yeah.
Files. Come on, Donald Trump. We want to know whose name.
So maybe she's hightailing out of there before all that is thrown at her as well. But what a bunch of hypocrites.
Ellen DeGeneres and her wife, Portia de Rossi, have reportedly fled the US, bound for the UK, after Donald Trump's landslide victory. Numerous publications are reporting the couple have left the United States permanently. There are also reports the couple have put their Montecito mansion on the market. Entertainment publication The Wrap has the exclusive story and said Ellen DeGeneres and wife Portia de Rossi have moved to rural England, put their Montecito estate on the market, and plan to never return to the United States, telling friends the election of Donald Trump was their primary motivation. Ellen DeGeneres has been a vocal Trump critic, so the move doesn't come as a surprise to most.
Really bad. If you had to be stuck in an elevator with either President Trump, Mike Pence, or Jeff Sessions, who would it be?
Does one of us have to come out alive?
Ellen DeGeneres has been seen rocking a new hair color since moving to the UK. The comedian changed her signature blonde look to brunette as she was seen enjoying a night out with friends at a pub called The Farmer's Dog. Ellen went out with her wife, Portia de Rossi, and a few friends, including the Torn singer Natalie Imbruglia. Sources told TMZ earlier this week that Ellen and Portia moved to England because of Donald Trump's re-election. They have reportedly settled into their new home in the southwest region of England, but they purchased the property before the election.
What makes the situation even more intriguing is Ellen's sudden comeback. The same person who reportedly left the US for good following Diddy's arrest is now returning, a move that appears closely timed with his release and not guilty declaration, raising fresh questions about her timing and her true motives.
Weinstein, Oprah, Epstein, he was running with that whole crew. They want to know how we're going to do it, how the public is going to take him. Is the public going to let him back in? And the public is not. The public is already canceling him. I don't believe the industry has canceled him yet. All those people who went to those Diddy parties, not one of them had came out and denounced what he has done. I haven't heard one of them. I have not heard one person denounce, well, man, let God handle it. Get the hell out of here. Get out of here with that. If that was your daughter, would you let God handle it? All those people, they ain't denounced him. They ain't definitely, they can't come forward and say, yo, I support him. Because it would mess up their brand. It would mess up their brand. Jay-Z. We the only one could call each other Sean. Jay is the only one could call me Sean. I'm the only one could call him Sean. Get the hell out of here. If that ain't no fun boy stuff. But you ain't had not one person, brother, not one person sit there, denounce what he did, or come forward and say, I support him.
We will have lost this moment. I think this is a moment where no matter what business you work in, there have been women who not only had the disease to please, that's a part of it, but who felt that in order to keep my job, in order to keep my position, in order to keep moving forward, I've got to smile, I've got to look the other way, I got to pretend he didn't say that, I got to pretend he didn't touch me. I think those days are about to be over.
Are over. And if it happens to you back in the day, you would say, sometimes you're not even aware what he just said was
it really inappropriate?
I know you've had a couple moments.
Where you just think, what did he just say?
Yes, I remember Gail had a moment when she came and said to me what somebody said to her was so inappropriate. I was like, oh my God, you can sue over that. But
no, and all I said was, what did you say? And then they repeated it.
Yes. Terrible.
I just sat there typing with my 20-something-year-old.
Pretend you didn't hear it.
Yes.
You pretend it's okay. You pretend you didn't.
No, it isn't. You're right, Jeff. You're absolutely right.
But a lot of women have been silenced, and I know.
But I think it's going to change.
Being a victim of child sexual abuse, that when you feel like you cannot be heard, and then other people start speaking out, it makes you feel like, oh, now I can speak out too.
Yeah.
So,
and you've been speaking about it for a while.
For years.
Yeah.
You know,
One high-profile figure who appears to be distancing herself from Diddy is Oprah. Her connections to Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, and Diddy have been well known, as she was close to all three, and photographs even show her alongside Harvey. However, once Weinstein's crimes became public, Oprah quickly reshaped her public image, acting as though she had never had any ties to him at all.
P. Diddy, what do you think is going to happen with all that now?
I knew a lot of people who knew Jeffrey Epstein, like a lot. I never met Jeffrey Epstein, thank God. I certainly knew a lot of people who knew him, and like a lot, like more than 10. Jeffrey Epstein was not considered like some far out sinister figure in the world that I lived in. I mean, I'm just being totally honest about this. He was like this kind of interesting guy who had this kind of rotating salon at his house off Fifth Avenue in New York, and there was always the Israeli prime minister and former presidents and like just interesting people, you know? I did not understand what that was about at all, and so when he died, I was like, oh, poor guy, self in prison. And then I got a call from his brother, just randomly, and his brother said, he did not convince him. Was really shocked by that, and I thought maybe his brother's crazy. So this set off a multi-year journey for me that really changed my views about a lot of different things. And the bottom line is Jeffrey Epstein was, and not only murdered, but he was murdered in the most secure federal lockup in Midtown Manhattan in the country. And so what is that? What is that? Think about that for a minute.
3 days after Oprah publicly supported victims of sexual assault in the wake of numerous allegations against Harvey Weinstein, singer Seal Instagrammed this meme, showing Winfrey kissing the disgraced mogul. It reads, when you have been part of the problem for decades, but suddenly they all think you are the solution.
Please welcome Seal!
The 54-year-old who's appeared on Oprah's show captioned his post, "Oh, I forgot. That's right. You'd heard the rumors, but you had no idea he was actually serially assaulting young starry-eyed actresses. My bad." While Weinstein maintains his innocence, Seal hasn't commented further, and Oprah has not responded.
This moment is a really powerful time for everybody to get woke.
Fans have come to her defense, pointing out Winfrey is a sexual survivor. They also posted pics of Seal's ex, Heidi Klum, kissing Weinstein too.
Is it truly a coincidence that Oprah repeatedly appears connected to figures who later become involved in abuse scandals, only to publicly condemn their actions afterward? The pattern is hard to ignore. Nearly every major case that comes to light seems to involve someone she once knew or considered a friend, making these connections difficult to dismiss.
Was marry a white boy, Oscar winner, for people to stop remembering that she had a gun in her pocketbook. She had gunshot residue on her hands the night that Natanya was shot at that club. For all we know, that bullet came from the gun that was in her hand. And not once has she spoken up for the betterment of that woman. Not once has she donated to her family or for her medical bills that she's still paying, or say something in her defense to stop Puffy from gaslighting her and trying to put hits out on her because he was afraid that maybe one day they would open the case and she still has the bullet fragments in her face. Like J-Lo has said nothing. Nothing. You really thought that just running off and marrying Ben Affleck was going to take you out of the Diddy downfall? But it saved her the first time though, didn't it? Because as soon as that club was over and as soon as they finished interrogating her, when she sat there and cried like a baby, I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to go to jail. Benny Medina put her with that drunk white boy until she ran him off. Like, there are people sitting here screaming out at the toll that the atrocities that Sean Combs has done to their lives, and you're trying to avoid your part in the story or the fact that you never spoke up. You know, you want to tell people on the low and put it out there that the movie was about you getting away from Puffy, but you didn't think about the trail of girls that you left behind.
One of the people closest to Diddy and directly linked to a past police investigation is J. Lo. The two reportedly dated for nearly 3 years in the 1990s. In 1999, J. Lo was present during a nightclub incident involving Diddy that left one person dead and another injured. While no charges were ever filed against her, Diddy later faced legal scrutiny, underscoring her proximity to the controversy.
And if you do, it'll be for something very, very small. It wouldn't be nothing what the people think. I don't think he's going to go nowhere long. And at the same time, you got to look at it. The best witness they had is KPD. KPD been an informant for a very, very long time. And KPD is getting ready to go to trial for the murder of Tupac. KPD said it, everybody else know it. And KPD says the money came from Puffy, the kid, Tupac, and myself. So if they really wanted Puffy that bad, KPD would have put a deal with them, got on that stand, and broke it down. That'd have been the RICO right there. That'd have been the higher right there.
One man to the next, and I got a lot of respect for you, Suge. Suge, I got so much respect for you, bro, because when this East Coast, West Coast walk could have been shut down, Pac was living, Big was living, Eric B, Big D, y'all set up there and y'all was gonna set up a meeting. Everybody who had something to do with it was supposed to show up. And Puff refused to. You didn't, brother. You wanted this to be over with. Even though you didn't with Puff, y'all wasn't dealing with each other no more. I remember when you and Pac was in the car behind the House of Blues. You was in the red Rolls Royce, Pac was in the white. I was in the car when Puff rolled up on you and said, yo, Suge, we got any problems down here? And you said, bro, I don't know any problems you got. That was even after Jake. You said, brother, I don't know any problems you.
Suge Knight, the former head of Death Row Records, has made explosive claims suggesting that Diddy might not have been as untouchable as everyone believed. According to Suge, Diddy maintained a quiet understanding with federal authorities, which could explain how he repeatedly avoided serious legal consequences. How far could this go, and who will Jaguar expose next? Share your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, and make sure you're subscribed, because the next name she reveals could shake Hollywood like never before.